All right, so we're going to go over how to find the perfect entry. But before we do that, we are going to study the different ways that the market moves. Okay, perfect. So everybody knows that the market goes either up, down, or consolidation sideways, okay? So we're going to be going over that and studying where to find the best entry based on those three scenarios. First, we're going to go over a breakout, then we're going to go over a bounce, and then we're going to go over a rejection. All right, so if it's coming from the bottom, it'll hit resistance at this range, and then it'll come down, bounce, and then go back to the resistance area based on just this range. Does that make sense? A breakout. Where would the breakout be? And there's two scenarios for the breakout. Okay? A breakout could either touch support at this range, resistance, the ceiling, back to the floor, back to resistance, and then here's a breakout to the bottom. Okay? Let me do that again. We're going over the breakout, okay? Coming from the bottom, hitting resistance, back to the floor, back to the ceiling, and then a breakout to the bottom. Okay? Now, we're going to go from the opposite side. We're going to go from the resistance to the floor, to resistance to the floor, and then a breakout from the ceiling. Okay? So, would this be a bearish momentum or a bullish momentum? Is this a bearish breakout or a bullish breakout? Go, ladies. Bullish breakout or a bearish breakout?
Bearish breakout.
Bearish. Very good. Dulce, try again. Why do you think it's bullish? All right, so this is a bearish. There's nobody out there teaching it like this. All right, so what's the bottom then? Obviously, bullish, right? Very good. Simple enough? Everybody get it? Everybody get it so far? So if on the chat we say we're looking for a bullish breakout, it means that we're in this range, and you can scalp the trades like Baby Joker says sometimes, right? Like he's scalping the range. Scalping the range just meaning like you enter a position, and as soon as it hits the ceiling or the floor, he gets out, right? He's not holding, hoping, and praying that it's gonna break out. We need confirmation that it's gonna continue to go to one side or the other. Follow? So now let's look at the rejection. The rejection would look something like this. Coming from support or the floor, hitting resistance, ceiling, support, resistance, ceiling, support, ceiling, and it just can't seem to break out. It keeps getting rejected, right? So we need to understand if we're trying to look for the breakout, if it's going to be a real breakout and retest to continue to go higher, or if it's going to get rejected and fail, meaning if we go this way, this way, this way, and then it breaks, it comes back and it fails and it gets rejected, and then we continue to come back down. Does that make sense to everybody? This is the rejection. Or it would also be called failed breakout. Everybody with me? Okay, everybody gets it then. All right, so bounce, we're bouncing from the bottom, from the floor. Bearish breakout, we're breaking out to the downside. Bullish breakout, breaking out of the resistance. A rejection, meaning that we failed to break. and resistance, a rejection at the top of the ceiling. A failed breakout would mean that it didn't hold and it kept coming back down. Now, in order for us to take a position and have a, let me just go over one more scenario here. Duplicate page. Let me talk about a entry. So a actual breakout would mean that once it breaks out of the resistance or the support, guys, I have seen and read on the chat that some of you guys are chasing the candles. Just when you have a range, and we're going to go over it in real life, we're going to go over it on the actual charts. When you see a range, right, what you can do, the most simplest thing that you can do is start creating ranges. For example, drawing a square, right? So if we draw a square on the chart, you can draw the range like this. And you can say, okay, you know what? What is my favorite type and style of trading? Because guys, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible scenarios. I do not trade all scenarios. I hate breakouts. I don't like bearish. I don't like bullish breakouts. Those are like my least favorite. I always get faked out. I get scared. I get nervous. I don't know why. I learned how to short the market, and I only learned bearish momentum. So for me, I'm most comfortable shorting. So for you, are you going to be a scalper? Because why? I forget who was it, Dulce or which one of you ladies it was that has the other job. The best way for you to trade would probably be scalping, right? Just like how Baby Joker does it, because if you're going to wait for that breakout, you're going to have to wait for it to break out and then also come back and retest and then take the trade, and that may take a while, right? And then maybe New York is better for you because it's faster. You get a fast move and you're not waiting for an actual move to happen. So you need to understand, okay, what style do I want to trade moving forward? What should I be looking for? And this is how you start to learn how to read the chart, right? Because I can teach you a strategy. I can teach you a pattern. I can teach you great entries, great exits, and all the possible, scenarios that the market could give you to make some profits. But you need to learn the type of style that you want to trade so that you can actually find it on the chart and be quick about it, right? And you can't learn all of it at once, especially as a new beginner, because it's going to overwhelm you. So first and foremost, learn the ranges. Okay, just the ranges. What range are we on? Is it sideways? Is it uptrend? Or is it downtrend? So a bearish breakout would be like this. Breakout, retest, and this would be your entry. Okay. So those are the possible scenarios. Does everybody get that? Everybody understand that? So let's just go ahead and review really quick. A bounce, bouncing from the floor. Bearish breakout, breaking the floor, going to the downside. Rejection, breaking away from the resistance or the support, and getting rejected there without going further. A failed breakout, breaking out and then not holding or retesting and coming back down, breaking the support. Bullish breakout, breaking away from the ceiling, and then we have the two scenarios here of a bullish breakout, breaking out of the ceiling, retesting and going higher. A failed breakout, the bearish breakout, breaking from the floor, retesting and going lower.